Conor McGregor vs. Michael Johnson, a battle of wills. Ladies and gentlemen, gather around and allow me to take you back to a night that the world of mixed martial arts will never forget. December 5, 2012, at UFC 155. This wasn't just another fight. No, this was a clash of two warriors with wildly different paths, styles, and ambitions. In one corner stood the rising Irish sensation, Conor McGregor, whose brash charisma and knockout power had already made waves. In the other corner, we had Michael Johnson, a tough, seasoned fighter known for his blistering speed and relentless pressure. What followed was a battle that kept fans on the edge of their seats, and a story that became the talk of the fight world for years to come. Conor McGregor, the Irishman with a dream. Before we dive into the fight itself, let's talk about Conor McGregor. Back in 2012, Conor wasn't yet the global superstar we know today, but he was well on his way. Hailing from Crumlin, Dublin, McGregor had burst onto the MMA scene with a fighting style as flashy as his personality. He wasn't just a fighter, he was a showman, someone who could talk the talk and walk the walk. With a sharp tongue and even sharper left hand, McGregor's early fights showcased his ability to predict and then deliver brutal knockouts. But beneath the bravado was a man who trained tirelessly, who studied his opponents, and who carried the weight of Ireland's hopes on his shoulders. McGregor's rise was meteoric. He entered every fight with supreme confidence, declaring victory before the first punch was thrown. By the time he faced Michael Johnson at UFC 155, McGregor had already earned a reputation as a finisher, someone who didn't just win but did so with flair and finality. But despite his talent and early success, he wasn't without critics. Many doubted his ability to go the distance against top-tier competition. Was McGregor just hype? Could he handle someone with the speed and grit of Michael Johnson? These were the questions on everyone's mind as fight night approached. Michael Johnson, the speed demon. Now, let's turn our attention to Michael Johnson. Johnson wasn't the type of fighter who garnered flashy headlines, but he was respected in the fight community for his no-nonsense approach and his incredible speed. A veteran of the ultimate fighter, Johnson had faced tough opponents and proved his mettle time and again. Known for his quick hands and relentless pace, he had the tools to give anyone a hard night in the octagon. But Johnson was at a crossroads in his career. He had experienced highs and lows, winning some fights in spectacular fashion while dropping others in frustrating decisions. Many viewed the fight against McGregor as a make-or-break moment for him. A win would solidify his place as a top contender. A loss would push him further down the pecking order. Johnson knew what was at stake, and he trained like a man possessed. He respected McGregor's power, but believed that his speed and cardio could overwhelm the Irishman. He wasn't there to play McGregor's game. He was there to impose his own. The build-up, fireworks outside the cage. In the weeks leading up to the fight, the tension between McGregor and Johnson was palpable. True to form, McGregor didn't hold back. He taunted Johnson at every opportunity, questioning his heart, his skills, and even his fashion sense. "He's quick," McGregor said at a press conference, flashing his trademark grin, "but you can't hit what you can't see. And I'm too fast, too sharp, and too precise. He'll feel my left hand, and when he does, he'll crumble like the rest." Johnson, for his part, didn't take the bait. He remained calm and focused, refusing to engage in McGregor's verbal warfare. But make no mistake, the fire burned inside him. He was determined to shut McGregor up, not with words, but with fists. The media lapped up the pre-fight drama. Fans were divided into camps. those who believed in McGregor's prophecy of greatness, and those who thought Johnson's experience and speed would expose the Irishman. Fight night, a battle to remember. As the fighters entered the arena on December 5, the atmosphere was electric. McGregor, draped in the Irish tricolor, strutted to the octagon with his usual swagger, soaking in the adoration of his growing fan base. Johnson, stoic and focused, marched in with a singular purpose: to silence the doubters and McGregor, his first UFC loss. From the opening bell, it was clear this fight would be different from McGregor's previous bouts. Johnson came out fast, throwing combinations and pressing the pace. McGregor, known for his ability to control distance, found himself in a firefight. But he didn't back down. Instead, he adapted. The first round was razor close. Johnson's speed gave him an early edge, but McGregor's precision began to show as the round wore on. He landed several clean counters, including a left hand that momentarily stunned Johnson. In the second round, McGregor began to find his rhythm. He used his footwork to create angles, landing crisp strikes while avoiding Johnson's return fire. Johnson, to his credit, kept coming forward, refusing to give an inch. The crowd was on its feet, witnessing a true battle of wills. By the third round, it was clear that McGregor had the upper hand. His cardio held up, and his strikes became more frequent and more damaging. Johnson, though visibly tired, continued to fight with heart. When the final horn sounded, both men raised their hands, but deep down, they knew who had won. The judges rendered their decision, Conor McGregor, by unanimous decision. Aftermath, respect earned, rivalry ended. Despite the pre-fight animosity, there was no bad blood after the fight. McGregor praised Johnson's toughness, calling him a warrior in the post-fight interview. Johnson, though disappointed, acknowledged McGregor's skill and vowed to come back stronger. For McGregor, this win was a turning point. It proved that he could go the distance against a high-level opponent and win a hard-fought decision. For Johnson, it was a bittersweet night. He had fought well, but came up short against a future superstar. Fight didn't just settle a rivalry. It added a chapter to the growing legend of Conor McGregor. It showed the world that beyond the talk and the showmanship was a fighter with heart, skill, and the ability to rise to any challenge. And so, my friends, that is the story of Conor McGregor vs. Michael Johnson. A night where two warriors gave everything they had, a night where respect was earned, and a night that reminded us all why we love this beautiful, brutal sport.